this tutorial will show how to format proofs in Word, and in particular, how to get the boxes where you need them and how to get them formatted correctly. Because it's very important that when you do your proofs by hand, and they're proofs that include assumptions, you need to have boxes. So you need to know how to draw the boxes. So this is how you do it in Word. If you use some other word processing software, you'll have to figure out how to do it in yours, but it'll probably be similar. And if you're doing it, I don't know, in a drawing program, or you're doing it by hand and then taking a picture, that's fine. You can not worry about this too much and just watch this for how to develop this proof, because it's also useful for that. Okay, so I'm going to do one part of the proof that conjunction is distributive. So I'm going to go from P and Q, or P and R, to the statement P and Q or R. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Well, the first thing I do is I kind of just put my conclusion at the bottom of the page. Q. Now I want to go to my symbol font and get an OR symbol. Okay, there we go. And insert. I'm going to get that out of the way. Okay. Well, how am I going to get P and Q or R? Well, I need to get the two parts. I need a P and I need a Q or R. So I'll just put those somewhere along the way. At least that would seem how I need to do it. However, I can actually just see, just from looking at this now, as I put the P there, I'm like, well, how is that going to happen? I've got this disjunction, and yes, it has P's in it, but I can't pull them out. So that's not going to work. So overall, actually, what I need is, weirdly enough, I need an OR elimination proof. So I need to use this disjunction to get to this goal, P and Q or R. So what I want to do next then, actually, is I want to assume P and Q. So I'm going to assume one of the disjuncts of my disjunction. And I justify that just with an A. And then a little further on, I'm going to assume the other one. And I don't know what line that's going to be yet, so I'm not going to worry about that. We can always tidy things up later. Okay, so now, and I'm going to make as my goal at the bottom of that proof P and Q or R. And likewise here, P and Q. I'm just using keyboard. I'm going to just use the keyboard shortcuts here. It's easier than going to the symbol font every single time, or copying and pasting it from here, which I could do. I could copy this, and I could paste it in place of this one. But you know what? I'm just going to use the keyboard shortcuts to make my life easy. Okay, so now I need to get from P and Q to P and Q or R. So now I actually do want to get this by AND introduction. So I can get the P I need right away by AND elimination on line 2. And then I need to get Q or R. So I'm going to put that as a goal right above the formula P and Q or R. And I'm going to get that by OR introduction. So if I had a Q, then I could get Q or R by OR introduction. And I can get a Q. Also from AND elimination on line 2. Okay, so then this has become line 5. And that's OR introduction on line 4. And then this is line 6 by and introduction on lines 3 and 5. Okay, and so now this assumption turns out to be on line 7. Okay, and so I want to get from P and R to P and Q or R. And I'm going to do that basically the same way I did with the previous half of the proof. Now I don't want to, you'll have to visualize there's a box that goes from line 2 to line 6. Actually, I could put that box in right now. Let's do that because it'll make things more visual. So what I usually do before I draw a box, I sort of indent those premises just a little bit to make room for the box. So 2 spaces, that's good. And then I need to indent line 6 because that's going to be inside the box too. And I want to pull that back in. Okay, so let's put a box around that. So I go over to my box drawing tool and I make a nice little box. Okay, but now you'll notice it's covered up all the words. So what I need to do is I need to make that box transparent. Just like we did with the Venn diagrams and stuff. Okay, and I don't want to remove the line because that would remove the entire purpose of the box. Okay. So, now this P and Q or R, you might think, oh, well I could get the P I need. You know, I don't need to get another P because I could get this P. So it could be by and introduction. And I could use this P on line 3. There's a P sitting right there. Why do I need to get another P? And that's a big no-no. You went inside a box. You can't do that. So we can't use anything that's inside the box. The only thing we're allowed to take away from this box at the end is the goal line at the end of the box. And that's only if we manage to get the same goal in the next box. So we can't do that, but we can get it from line 7. No, sorry, it's going to be on line 8. Because we can get a P right here from line 7. So that's by and elimination on line 7. So we know the P is going to come from line 8, and then we got to figure out where the Q and R is going to come from. So we have that as a goal. And here we see, oh, we can get an R anytime we like. So let's do that now. And then we can use that to get the Q or R. So that's by and E on line 7 also. Okay. So this is going to turn out to be line 10 by or introduction on line 9. And then this is going to be line 11. And that's going to be and introduction on 8 and 10. And then this will be line 12. Okay, first let's get our boxes in place for this one. Okay, that looks good. So let's draw our box. And it's okay if it butts right up against the other one. It's okay if it doesn't too, but it's probably going to be. Because you watch, right now it looks like I've just made like one giant box. But no, there's actually 2 boxes. And now I have to make that one transparent too. And then I need to fill in my justification for my final line. And it's overlapped my final line a little bit. I could try scooching it, but I would probably just fail. So it's fine, as long as I can read it. That's the important part. So this is by or elimination. And we use line 1, that's our starting disjunction. And then we cite the lines that contain what we're trying to derive inside the boxes. So 1, 6, and 11. And that proof is done. Then you're going to make a screenshot of it. So I do Shift Command 4, and you can make a nice screenshot of it and then upload it to Blackboard.